Welcome, everybody, to another Rev Talk. The year is winding down. We're winding down and can't wait for the new year. There's a lot going on, a lot of energies, and we both are exhausted. So we thought we'd let the cards tell us what we need to know again today because they're never wrong. They always lead us in the right path.
That, we had the gathering of other reverends. It was the other Sunday, which was really nice. And I'm going to say this just because it was part of the topics of what we were dealing with. And what you were saying is that you can't get it wrong with the cards, and basically our theme was you can't make this shit up, And so when you said that with the cards, that's what came to mind. Yeah, the cards. You pull a card, you can't make this shit up. You really can't.
That's so true.
So I'm using my favorite deck right now, which is the Creatures deck. I've been using that for a little while now. I just love these cards. So let's see what we're gonna get here. What do we have? Okay. We want this one. We're gonna use this card. What is it? Okay, so it's alone.
Oh, but he's not alone.
Well, the interesting thing about this is I'm sure a lot of people feel that way this time of year. There's all this hustle and bustle, and yet there's that underlying emptiness with a lot of people. I know, you can be alone
And not lonely.
and not lonely. And so what it says here, well, there is a fine balance between too much time alone and not enough. Where are you? Do you need the quiet, healing space only moments of solitude can provide? Or do you need to expand outside of yourself? And it's always, for me, getting a card like that, like you said, you can be alone, but you don't necessarily need to be lonely. And this time of year brings about a lot of loneliness. And it's okay to be alone as long as you're not hiding, or just avoiding.
What I
Go ahead.
I'm sensing is you are alone, but you've branched out so much since we started this, and you have a network out there that you don't realize that they're there.
Right.
So you're adjusting real well from alone to loneliness to having a network. It's just you don't feel connected because you still kind of hibernate. But the change is there. It's phenomenal.
Well, and again, I don't do well in crowds. It gets very overwhelming for me. So I find being alone isn't necessarily a bad thing for me. I don't mind it. It's good to be reminded, though, to be able to branch out, to reach out, and to know that there are people outside of the house, out in the world, that actually do want to, connect and talk, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, so
interesting.
Well, it was an interesting card. I was actually not prepared to see that card. Of course, in the back of my mind, I kept saying, please don't let it be the fear card, because the fear card has come up a couple of times over the last 2 weeks. So I'm like, really? Really? You're gonna, okay, whatever.
When you draw it multiple times, it's like, okay, you're not getting the message.
I know, and I'm thinking, I don't know what it's like, okay, fine, whatever. But this one kind of, but it's a good card. It's not a bad card. It's a quiet card.
Well, I'm looking at my card, and I drew out of the roomy deck, and it's Alana Fairchild. I seem to be drawn to her for some reason. And it's Enter the Garden of Delight.
Oh,
And it's really beautiful. I don't know if you can see the colors. The colors of fall are coming in, and it's almost like a wintry landscape.
oh,
It's
it's
really kind of
gorgeous.
unique. And what it's saying is, what remains buried in the soil will always endeavor to reach out. To tussle with parts of us that would deny aliveness is risky. So is the potential for heartache. Yet, what could be more heart-wrenching than the slow death of a precision human soul, suffocated by fears and inertia? So he says, in your midwife, he is standing at the threshold with you now. Will you say a deep yes to enhance your life?
Oh, that's beautiful.
So
Well, the
I'm waiting.
scenery,
Well, I need to get out more, but it's really cold,
it's cold there.
and and with my foot, I don't do much walking, but I'm looking outside, and I'm always outside with my critters in the morning to feed them. And I brought all my plants inside because it was just too cold. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if my Mrs. P will come back, and she's almost 70 years old. She is 70 years old. She's almost 80 years old. But she came back last year, so I'm hoping she does. So I am delighting with the garden, and I am delighting with the outside. So I'm not hibernating, and I am trying to continue to study and do things to enhance myself. But it's hard. This is the time to relax and just do things. And my favorite thing is puzzles. And the reason I do those, one, it keeps your mind active. I enjoy it. It's the only activity that I can do where I can block everything else out. I don't hear the little voices in my head. I don't hear my mother-in-law. I don't hear my husband. I don't hear anything. And it's very, very calming for me. So there must be a reason that I'm not going outside yet. I have all my windows open so I can see everything, and I am enjoying it. So I am entering the garden of delights, and I'm doing it peacefully and resting so I'll be awake and ready for the
Wonderful. And here's the other thing too. Not only was that picture very much about nature and being in nature, it was also about being alone in solitude. And you find that when you're doing that, when you're in your zone, like when you're doing your puzzles, you're in your zone. And that's actually because you're not being distracted by all this other stuff. That's the time when the divine can whisper to your soul and just give you the comfort that you need in that amount of time. It's healing you and restoring you because you're in that peaceful mode and you're not worrying about anything. So I love that. I love, and that can be with any kind of activity that you do that gives you joy, where you're just so engrossed in it that time seems to stand still and you're just having a wonderful time. That's the now time. That's the divine time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
example.
divine time. When you're able to be with your divine self, with the divine, And I love those moments.
Yeah.
I don't give myself enough of those moments. You know, we all need to give ourselves more of those moments, but you know, I love that. I love being in your divine garden. And it's not even a matter of looking outside the window. When you're in that moment and in that zone doing your puzzle, you're in the divine garden.
Yeah, so true. That's wonderful now that I think about it.
You're there. You're already there. You don't have to walk outside in order to be able to feel like you're a part of that garden
Mm-hmm.
because
So
it's
well
within
put.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, what do you think, my dear?
I think we have a lot to dwell on. We have two strong cards, and to draw another one, maybe we could draw one more and
Okay.
give it to the people to see what they need.
Well, we'll see what everybody. I'll do another shuffle here. Another quick shuffle. And pull another one. Oh, these are. You don't want to jump out. So we'll pull another. Let's see what we got here. Oh, there, that one. That one. That one. Come here, you. Dreaming.
Yeah,
So there it
that's
is.
good. And that's what we've been talking about. We just need to get out of ourselves and just enjoy and fantasize and yeah. And I think a lot of people are caught up in the spirit of Christmas and giving. Yeah, they go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, they do. You can't make this shit up. You know, it's the dreaming part, the dreaming. There's always that, what is that part of the night, 'twas the night before Christmas, and visions of sugar plums dancing in their head.
Oh, dancing. Yeah.
You know, the dreaming part, we always attribute it to children. We always say, oh, you know, children have these dreams, and isn't that wonderful? And somewhere along the line, we kind of push ours off to the side, or we just forget about them, or we just, you know, it's not going to happen and all. And it's important to keep that within each and every one of us. Our ability to dream and to make those dreams come true is what gives us that divine garden, what gives us those zones, what gives us that, you know, that desire to keep going on. So it's never, you know, don't just attribute the dreaming to children. Make sure you're acknowledging your own dreams.
Yeah, that's what we are always telling people,
Yeah,
you know, that manifest your dreams.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I drew a very interesting card. It's space.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love that.
Look at all the layers.
I love that. That's like a universe.
And then the white to me is just shining in from Earth out, versus from Earth in. But it's the impossible is made possible. Love creates infinite openings in the dark skies and shudders the earth with its magnitude.
Oh,
So that's exactly what it is. And it fits perfectly with being outside because it's Mother Earth. Any way you look at it, Archangel Uriel.
oh, absolutely.
Mm,
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. And, we are being showered with all of this energy from the divine. It's, everybody gets this, all these energies. It's, oh my gosh. And it's a gift. It's a blessing. And this is why we chose to be here at this time, to take in all these energies that are being, brought to this planet, brought to our space. That's why we came here.
Yeah, it's interesting because I remember I had a life reading, and the life reading said, for lack of better words, you're in your diamond frame of life, and this should be your final incarnation because you have all the knowledge coming to you. It's a matter if you accept it. And I keep asking, help me, help me, help me, but you never know because you don't know what's inside. You really don't. You talk to your soul, but you don't know where you're at. So all you can do is be the best you can be, help others. And that'll show you you're on the right path. And that's
Well,
what we're doing.
and to stay in that zone, to stay in that solitude, that quiet where you're receiving divine messages, that's when you're also going to be able to commune. And if it feels good, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah,
If you're if
yeah,
you're if you're wasting time and you're feeling agitated or whatever, then bring yourself back into that zone of doing something that you enjoy doing.
I agree.
you know so with that, my friends, I think I am complete with our reading. We hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for joining us today for another Rev Talk. And we want to remind you to be gentle with yourself and to be kind to yourself, and to remember that you are unique in all the universe. There will never be another just like you in all of space and time. You are powerful, you are cherished, and you are loved. And without you, the song of the universe would be incomplete. Until next time, my friends, be well.